All right, so the controversial videos continue because this one is, certainly controversial. Also, I have made a video on this matchup last year, but I'm just not happy with that video. I've changed a lot since then. I actually used calculations in that video, one of the rare times I actually did, and I'm just not about calculations. I don't care about them. I don't use them, so I kind of want to make a follow-up video that is just better because I feel like that video needs a serious improvement, and that's what I want to do with this one. So first, let's get this data book stuff out of the way because they also have these two crazy excerpts about them. So for Flashy Flash, it basically says that he's like the speed of light, and for Atomic Samurai, it says that he's named after his swordsmanship and his nuclear powered strength. So those two things might play factor into this fight, and I just want to get them out of the way because they're, like I said, crazy. So for Flashy Flash, the speed of light thing, it also says something like this on the cover of Chapter 95. It says that he basically can slash or attack faster than light. So this, along with the data book, is that confirming that he is the speed of light? I honestly don't know. I mean, maybe, maybe not. Granted, it's never really said on the page of the manga or any kind of dialogue like that he is in fact the speed of light. So I mean, it's up for you to decide, honestly. And I'll say right now that if this is confirming that he is the speed of light, then he wins. There's no way Atomic Samurai can compete with this because he has no feats that prove it, and there's not even any kind of dialogue or exposition that can back him up either. But I'll just say, me personally, I don't think Flashy Flash is the speed of light. Also because from what we've seen of his top speed, in Chapter 96, case in point, this panel right here, this is not light speed, not even close to it. I think that this is kind of just like a hyperbolic passage to hype him up. Honestly, it just, my opinion. And that brings me to Atomic Samurai's little excerpt here because I think that this is the same thing. So for him with the atomic or the nuclear powered strength thing, it's just, that sounds like a hyperbolic passage to me because if it is true and the Atomic Slash is that powerful, then that means that G5 can survive a nuke, taking it face first. Do you think that's the truth? I don't. So yeah, seems like hyperbolic passage, and if that is the case with this, then yeah, it's definitely the case with the light speed stuff for Flashy Flash. So let's just wipe both of these off of their records going into this one. And speaking of light speed, let's try to figure out who is faster because that's the most important aspect in this battle, right? We've got two super fast swordsmen, a ninja, samurai, and it's ultimately going to come down to whoever is faster is going to win because it's going to be a one shot, one kill type of situation, and it's also the thing that you, the viewer, is most interested in this matchup, of course. So we'll stay with the data book for now because I found out something pretty fascinating recently. So I was talking to my friend Vib, and he said that the hero ratings in the data book, the power stat for them, it actually means your explosive power, how hard or fast you can propel yourself off the ground with your feet, which was confusing me at first. I was like, what? Why would they label power as that? Because I naturally thought that the power stat meant your strength, how physically strong you are, but that is just apparently not the case. So I compared the stats here, and it turns out that this is probably true because both Flashy Flash and Atomic Samurai have a 10 in power. In fact, they are one of only four confirmed heroes to have a 10 in power. The other two are Silver Fang and King. And then we don't know what Blast's power is because he doesn't have his stats registered. And then a few of the other heroes have question marks for their power and other stats, so we don't know for sure. So they're the only confirmed one. So this is showing us that they're at that top tier, which is super impressive, but it's also not helping us distinguish who's the faster of the two. But that brings me to the next comparison here. So in my How Powerful is Atomic video, we talked about his encounter with Sonic in the third audiobook, and he basically established that he was at least just as fast as Sonic, or maybe even faster than him. In my opinion, I feel Atomic, that proved that he was faster than Sonic, and it's okay, so how much faster than Sonic is he? Is he a lot faster? Is he kind of just medium-sized faster? It's like, it's hard to say. So other characters that are faster than Sonic in this ambiguous fashion kind of are Hellfire and Gale, especially in their monster forms, because like once Gale goes into his monster form, like he teleports pretty much behind Sonic, and Sonic is like shocked by this. He's like, oh my god, he's so fast. So that's also proving that, you know, these individuals are faster than Sonic. But it's like, how much? I mean, judged on, you know, based on his reaction, it's a lot. Now, Sonic also gave Atomic Samurai a reaction, because we also have to point out that, like, Sonic drew first on Atomic Samurai and then he blocked it. So, you know, impressive. And then Sonic, you know, afterwards was like, oh wow, you know, I can't believe you blocked that. You're pretty fast. So, you know, compliments from Sonic here, shock. But is it like the same level of shock that he's giving Hellfire and Gale? Hard to say, because, you know, it is the audiobook. We don't get to see his face, but I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter, because in the end, we're not really going to know for sure anyway. But I'll just say that, like, even if they are in the same ballpark, like the difference in speed that Atomic, Hellfire, and Gale have over Sonic, if it is somewhat comparable or relative or equal or whatever, then I don't think that's boding well for Atomic here. Because we see Hellfire and Gale going against Flashy Flash, and when it comes down to it, and Flashy Flash is serious, and he's like trying pretty much his hardest, I guess, from what we can assume here, he is basically stopping time compared to them. Like, once he, you know, sets up the battle situation to where he wants it to be, and he's able to hit them both at once, his when like he's countering them and he starts moving at his top speed, I guess, like, yeah, time has stopped for them. So, like, we were just comparing them to Atomic. So it's like, is Atomic so much faster than Sonic, as to where he is so much faster than Hellfire and Gale, as to where time isn't going to stop for him if he goes against Flashy Flash? You know, just based off of what we have in the manga here, I will say, in my opinion, no. Because also, like, this is pretty much Flashy Flash's best speed feat here. And I guess Atomic Samurai's best speed feat is blocking Sonic drawing first, right? So, you know, we've got Flashy trumping him in speed feats here, and then also, like, just Atomic having nothing to back up his ability to defend this. Now, again, subjective, my opinion. It comes down to how you perceive all of this, but this is just how I see it. Flashy Flash would defeat Atomic Samurai if they were to go against each other. And we're going to go further now. We're going to go deeper, because we're going to go into the webcomic now. So if you don't want to know what's going to happen, I suggest you check out. So I just want to compare their encounters with Awakened Garo, and I feel like that's all I really need to do at this point to, like, seal the deal on this matchup. So when Atomic Samurai goes against Awakened Garo, he, like, does the Atomic Slash and he completes the movement, but then afterwards you find out that Awakened Garo basically, like, grabbed and snapped the blade before he was able to get cut, and then he struck Atomic Samurai. And this all happened before Atomic Samurai basically even realized it happened, because, like I said, he completes the movement. So that's how much faster Awakened Garo is compared to Atomic Samurai doing the Atomic Slash here. Now, going to Flashy Flash, Flashy Flash does the Flashy Fist. And they're basically performing the same movement here. They're both at similar distances starting, and then they just close the gap, and then they do, like, their technique. So this is a great comparison. And Awakened Garo, he defends against this, and we get the whole crazy, like, time-stopping spaces centisecond sequence, which we don't get for Atomic Samurai. And Awakened Garo parries all of these shots and doesn't strike back, doesn't counter or anything. So, big difference between the two encounters here. So, to me, this tells, you know, that if they were to go against each other, at least in the webcomic, you know, and just, like, standing in front of each other, Atomic Slash versus, like, Flashy Slash or Fist or whatever, it's very likely that Flashy Flash is going to come out on top here and take Atomic Samurai out. Now, also, you know, the webcomic is a different continuity than the manga. I'm aware, but we also know that the manga is very likely going to hit all these same major story points, including the ones that we're going over here. Now, there's a chance that they might change in the manga, but if they do, it might not be too significant. This is ultimately all going to play out the same way. So I think this is showing us that, like, yeah, Flashy is the superior here and that he would win. But, let me know what you think about this matchup in the comments. I know it's a very contentious one, and that's fine. Let's keep the discussion positive and not toxic. But if you like the video, if it entertained you, please give it a like. I also have a Patreon that gives you access to a weekly Q&A. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.